everyone, welcome to tonight's game. I am Anya, I use she, her pronouns, and with me tonight are, please introduce yourselves.
My name is Lowell, he, him pronouns, and I am playing our commander, Salim Andrade, also he, him. And we had some successes last time and some washouts, so to speak. So we will
Literal.
take that up.
Next we have Matthew.
Yeah, hi, I'm Matthew. I use he, him pronouns. Today I am playing Z04, aka Sgt Anders, our resident bimbo, or himbo rather. Yeah.
I'm Mark, hear them, and I'm playing people initially, Viper Harmony, our Maverick, and yeah, he's looking to get in some more trouble.
And I'm Sherry. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Salta initially. People's little sister and an engineer, and I'm ready for the game. Let's do this.
And they are our pilots because tonight we will be playing the Mecha Hack as part of the Open Heart Gaming Calendar. So, how is everybody doing tonight? Are you feeling ready after the last session?
Yes.
Nice.
Woke up, had my coffee.
Nice. I should have brewed coffee. I'll probably use the break to brew some coffee. So, if we are ready, then we're going to jump right in because last time, after you finished exploring this ruin, this Varillian ruin that you had found, you went into a tunnel, one of the collapsed close-off tunnels, and tried to explore further to see if it led you anywhere. And unfortunately, under the pressure, under the weight of your fencing suits, the tunnel collapsed, and you were washed away by the river's current that this temple, these ruins are under. And you went straight to Sector H, to Point H, where before you could finish your exploration, you found this enormous carcass, or the very top of the ribs of a gigantic kaiju carcass. Doing some field investigation, you realize that this connection between the kaiju and the beryllium mineral that you had suspected is probably 100% truth. So you decided to go back and rendezvous with the rest of your team that had been sent by Commander Salim back to the Q'ku Encampment, the Q'ku Insurgents camp. We finished off last session as you were arriving, probably a little past midnight. So unless you want to do anything particular for the night, we will start at the next morning. Nice. So, the very next morning, when you arrived, essentially most of the people were asleep. You received some minor reports. This is not a big camp. It's made of the very last remnants of an old Q'ku town. The most important feature here is that there is a fuel refinery and there is a launch pad. This is actually where about a month ago some collective soldiers fought amongst themselves. Some of them were trying to, for some reason, protect the Q'ku. The people who are still here, can tell you more about that. And they essentially attacked some very advanced tactical armor that other collective members had sent over here. These people helped save some of the refugees that the Q'ku Encampment was holding, by allowing one of these escape rockets to depart from here. So it's the next morning. You are essentially receiving reports, Commander Salim. For everyone else, there's some drills. You see some people. There's probably not more than 20 or 40 refugees at any given point here. There's lunches whenever they are available, which is not frequent, but there is also not many Q'ku people left on the planet or that are willing to make the trek to this area of the planet. And yes, I think that's most information I wanted to give you about sector A. And Matthew, Ezekiel, if you have any questions about last session, please feel free to ask. So, what do you want to do?
Let's get a sense of, is there a group or a person who is the spokesperson or in charge of the refugees? Like, who do we clearly get pointed to talk to, and we want to meet with them and see what their needs are, and then we can start quizzing them on the situation.
Okay.
And we can do that, and then I want Salta, I want you to survey what mechanically they have in the area, like resource wise. I want uh, Siege Dangerous, after we have our conversation, to check what the defensive status is, and Viper Harmony to see if they've got any maps or things that can help us with scouting or any other additional information.
Roger that.
So that'll be our tasks after we talk to their leadership.
Sure. Last night they were asleep, but you first thing in the morning. Give me 1 second to verify their Captain Kyriakos Lasso is their name. Introduces themselves to you, Selim. Kyriakos Lasso. And essentially they introduce themselves. They go to you and say, Commander, it's so good to see off-worlders. We've been in need of support for a while now.
What is it we can do right now for you and your group?
Kyriakos essentially goes through a list of things. First of all, things that are obvious. They will like to build some shelter for some of the refugees. Some of these people are sleeping outside. They are, of course, always pressed for more food. He suggests to you that looking for some kind of Q'ku delicacy or something like that will be very helpful for morale after the past few weeks. And they tell you they tell you that their biggest worry right now is that the collective will attack again. They are still not sure about what was everything about, but they finish with, there's still one of them here. One of the soldiers that supported us last time, but they seem just as lost as we are. So maybe a new, let's say, friendly face. He will be more open to talk to.
I will say we have some time that we can spend today on assisting, but we also have to get ready for us to move on to a target. I don't want us to be sitting here too long with our heat signatures and cause you more danger, but I want to put our people today to doing what we can. So let's try and I want to organize with you and get the tasks done that we can today. Does that seem reasonable, Heriakos?
They say yes, sounds good enough to me. One final thing, Commander.
Mm-hmm.
If you are planning to go against the collective, and you will be able to capture some kind of transport to allow our people to move faster, to get faster to evacuation points, I think that will be very helpful for those who are unable to fight for themselves. And as they go ahead, please.
I will say I will make that an absolute priority for our operation.
As you are speaking with them, you see that some of the refugees, maybe half of them, the youngest of the people, are training. They are not expected to do any actual fighting, but it's good for them to train in case of an emergency. And mechanically, what I'm going to say is that you will be able to refill your for you in particular your retain or die by connecting with some of these people, trying to train them yourselves, or seeing if some of them would like to join your group. For you in particular, Slim, since you are at 0 retainer die at this point,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, I think I will work on that. I will say to the captain, I say, I'm going to set my people to task. We're going to do that, and I'm going to come back and check with you. We're going to need to talk with you about intelligence and surveys and things like that. But right now, was focused on getting all of you in good shape.
Sure. Commander Kyriakos essentially salutes you. You gather that they are a very pragmatic person. They technically outrank you, but they're really not worried about that. They just are trying to get people who need it out of here. They don't seem super worried about your tactical objectives, but they will support you if they get them people to safety.
Let me ask a question to see if I can figure this out as I'm talking to him before I kind of hand things off to the others. Why is he still here? Like, did he get left behind? Did he volunteer to stay behind? Does he have some emotional champion? Like, I'd like to get a sense of why he's here on the ground, why he's remained when so many others, bugged out. Do you want me to roll presence?
No. I think they would in, let's say, a private setting. I think you are he's touring the camp. Maybe you ask this when you get to their office. So in a more private setting, they will probably be more willing to answer that to you. So you see them pull a big alcohol bottle. It's early in the morning. It's way too early to be drinking. They pour themselves at this small drink. Asks you if you would like something to drink. You will recognize this. This is fermented Kaiju blood. It's one of these Q'ku delicacies that they were mentioning. Drinks half of it straight, mixes the other half with what will be coffee. And they say, I sometimes ask myself that on a daily basis, but whenever I see people arrive, and I think somebody had to be left behind, and you see in their office, most Q'ku officials will have some minor house emblem or something like that. Even you, Salim, you probably have a house emblem, even if you don't have a house. And you don't see anything like this. They essentially tell you that they have no real station or command post, and this command post has been thrown onto them because they are the last person behind. But they are happy to do it because they were at some point close to be one of these people who needed evacuation. But they finish off with saying, "But you know, I had gone through boot camp, and I guess I was just not as jacked off as the rest of the officials." And finishes their coffee.
I will thank him for his candidness, and I will say we will do everything we can to make sure your people survive.
They thank you, and they say just kind of in this, what's the word, gallows humor kind of way. They say to you, just make sure that if you die far away from here. These people have been through enough to see another people dead.
Fair enough.
And you're free to go essentially.
You all have your orders. Find things out, put things together.
Why don't we go first with Ezekiel, since you weren't here last session, Matt?
All right.
What do you want to do? Your orders, I think, were correct me, Salim, please, to see the security of the camp.
Yeah. I immediately, you know, get like straight in my uniform, and head over to security. See what the situation is there with regards to like defenses and also internal security.
Nice.
So from what I know of the situation, should I be worried? Like, in addition to being worried about the security of the camp and should I be worried about internal threats of any kind?
um, as far as you know, no. However,
All right, all right.
you do know that one of these collective people are still here because you quickly go and talk to security, and you hear that this collective agent under the name of, give me 1 second to make sure I'm giving you, under the name of, no, this is a different person. Yes, Jack Lassiter is still here.
Let's see.
And this person is suspicious of them. Sophia, the head of security, is suspicious of it, of him.
Yeah. Anyway, before we get that, I'd like to see like if we have any gaps in defenses or any if we have any enough manpower to like handle every single point in the perimeter.
Uh, Sophia tries to reassure you. I say, yes, Mr. Cho, I think we have everything covered, because she's used to trying to reassure everyone that everything will be safe. But you have some battle experience. You clearly see that there's some gaps. Why don't you roll systems for me, please?
Sure. I am sure Sophia, is doing the best and making the most out of like what they have in front of them. But let's see, where is the die roller? Here we go.
Top left corner.
Yep, D20, and we roll. That is an 8 under. Well, it's I'm sure it's below
It's
whatever is a 10.
under your 16. Yeah, so
Yeah.
uh, she's trying to do her best. You notice some holes, and you have probably read the bare bones report that you were given. Uh, the defense turrets that they had, A, were unable to deter the attackers last time, and B, they have all been destroyed. So if you are able to repair, to enhance them in any way, that will be super helpful, or to get some other kind of automated defense system online.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Do they have enough resources and parts for that?
You salvage a bit of stuff. You wouldn't be able to. They have enough resources to get production started. Certainly not to get 100% security as soon as possible. And you are with the rest of your retainers, so if you expend some of your own resources of your mission, I'm sure you will be able to make something up.
All right. Okay.
What do you want to do?
Yeah. Definitely. Sorry. Expend resources, or what was the other option?
Yeah, I think either you can expend resources right now from your own mission and get security probably up by tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, or just essentially kick off production of these security measures, and it will probably take a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll make it my priority to personally work on these things, not just oversight and any of that interventionist nonsense, but really get my hands dirty and putting those things together.
Okay, why don't you roll systems for me again, please? And depending on the success, I think we will uh, either roll your retainer die or just degrade your retainer die. Okay, so we're rolling your retainer die, which is a d6, please.
Oh wait, sorry, my retainer die.
Yes.
Where's my retainer die?
It's a d6 because I have no space to write it down, but you have it right here.
Okay, sure, no problem. Rolling a d6. Let's go. That's a 5.
That's a 5. Okay, yeah, your die doesn't degrade at this point. Yes, you get some stuff going throughout the day, and we will get back to that. But yes, you are able to get some to reallocate some resources in order to secure this encampment.
Wait, 5 is a good roll, right?
5 is a good roll. Yes, 1 or 2 is your die will have degraded. Yes.
All right, cool.
Okay, let me see if I can. Yes, I'm sure I can integrate somebody else into this. Salta, you hear word that they are trying to get some production going for some security systems, some of these turrets that I'm sure right now you heard that had been recently destroyed. Do you want to jump in? You are an engineer after all. You are muted.
She goes, "Oh, I think she wants to jump in," and then Karam sort of catches her by the elbow and says, I think that the commander asked you to do something," and she's like, "Oh!"
I love that. Yes.
And it's more that she's frustrated that her attention's shifted so quickly. So she's going to try to be a good kid, do what she was assigned to do first, which is taking the thing, and then she will go to where the delicious repairs are taking place.
Nice.
So, all right, and essentially we're supposed to go and look to see what resources they have. They're kind of anything that needs. Let's see. The engineering and those sorts of things. What needs to be what they have and what needs to be improved.
Yes.
Okay, so I assume system is what I'm rolling for this.
I think yes. You're rolling systems first, please.
Yes, that makes sense. D20. Here we go. And roll. 13, which I make handily under my 17.
Nice. Okay, yeah. I think somebody will give you a report if you ask for it. But the first thing that jumps up to you is, as I was telling you, this place has a fuel refinery.
Ooh.
It was damaged during the last attack. Fortunately, there was no explosion from it. But you do see that these repairs had been done very hastily.
That's dangerous.
And that could be dangerous, yes.
Yes. All right. I definitely want to work on the defenses, but I put it on the list before that, and I show it to Karam. Like, I'm being good, right? So, and all right, and then even before I jump into that, because I want to, I can see what needs to be done, but no, I will continue on around the rest of the camp to see if there's anything else.
Yes.
So that has higher priority.
For starters, you have that, and second of all, just to remind you, you had collected some crystals from which you were expecting to make a minor power source, minor reactor, and give me 1 second because I have a note. I know I have a note. Yes. This encampment is nearby. This encampment is nearby an entrance to the underground tunnels of the planet. The underground tunnels are, as you know, for the most part infested with Kaiju. However, the Q'ku had also been able to lay some maglev tracks into some of these tunnels, and there was a project to connect this area to the closest track, which will be at around point G, so from G to A.
Ooh.
And that will be the sort of project that will take a while, but you will be able to move out a ton of resources. Give me. Why don't you give me presence again, please? Presence, sorry.
A presence roll?
Yes.
It's not my strongest, but I will try. I will summon up my will and roll that d20. So, an 8. I actually do it.
Nice. Yes. I think you are speaking with Ansen Elena. Who is probably a couple years older than you. She's very excited to talk to you, to see that you are so young, to see that you're outrank her, all of this kind of stuff. And she tells you of a rumor that's been going on amongst the younger ensigns. That all of the what will be the term? I think it's hunting lodge. That all of the Q'ku hunting lodges are connected through this maglev network. This was, of course, a project for the elites and all of this stuff. And those will be, of course, a place to salvage or to loot some maybe not high grade military equipment, but certainly many luxurious stuff.
Luxurious, and probably some of those fancy, guns that they used for hunting.
Yeah,
Kaiju.
for sure.
So, plus, I bet there's some beds with great mattresses, and I haven't slept. Oh, well. So anyway, yes. sleeping in my pilot's chair is not as comfortable as I hoped it would be. Yes, so that I put that at the top of my list. Then I'm like maglev network, and I show it to Kareem.
Yeah, Karim essentially is. They're assigned to keep you on track. This is technically on track, but I think he's also the kind of person who will space away after a while of hearing you. So at this point, probably he's just trying to make it through the motions with you for the day.
Okay, that sounds good. So then that means I can do whatever I want. All right. And I will like kind of continue around. If I see anything else, like just I'll make even the long list of just little stuff. But I probably will go back to Commander and tell him what we found. The connected hunting lodges sounds like a way that we could move around. I could work on the reactor with these crystals that we've gathered. There's, of course, the defenses, and, well, I don't know. It's all pretty delicious, is pretty much what she says. So
Let's get everybody's input and we'll make a decision on that. Though I will say, after our previous experience with the tunnels, I am less willing to make that a primary option.
I think we just had bad luck, sir. Just bad luck.
I will take that into account.
And so, finally, Pipali, what do you want to do?
Yeah, so I'm going to be looking for intel or maps, any scouting stuff. So
Sure.
I ask around and see if there's anyone who looks like they might be a scout or someone who knows their way around.
Why don't you roll a d8 twice for me, please?
All right. D8 twice. That's a 3 and a 2.
A 3 and a 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's O and E. Give me 1 second. Yes, you are able to find. So I don't think you find a scout. I think you talk with the locals, with some of the refugees that have been getting here most recently. They will be the ones who have the most up-to-date information. And O. That O, yes. Yes. And E. Nice! Give me 1 second. Why don't you roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? D6 just one last time for me, please.
A D6?
Yes.
That is a 4.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's, and all of them are together. Okay, that's good. I'm not complaining. It's just a bit weird. Okay, nice. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Kaiju City.
Kaiju City. Kaiju City is was named recently in the past couple of years. This was essentially a batch of sorry. This was a lake up until recently. Not a deep lake, but a lake. I don't know if lagoon is a more appropriate word. And then suddenly one day it essentially was drained. Nobody is really sure why. Nobody was there to see it. But they named it Kaiju City because shortly after that, I think the word is mounts for ¿cómo se llaman las termitas? For termites.
Termites, yeah.
For termites, for when termites make these large mounds, they are these building size mounts that the kaiju have created.
All right.
So it's essentially, I want to say, building apartments. Over there, that's why they call it Kaiju City. People obviously avoided. Most of the people who came throughout the southwest to the encampment tell you that they came through letter E, which coincidentally is a jungle, is a hunting territory. However, it's not a people hunting territory, or rather a Q'ku hunting territory. It is known to be where kaiju go and hunt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's dangerous to go over there unless you know what you are doing. And most Q'ku know how to do with that. My reference for that is Dune. If you know how to travel, you are able to travel through there safely. And finally, yes. Yes, you do know this. It will be rumored amongst the people that you are talking with. Several months ago, a very large research ornithopter fell down at letter E. It is known that this was a collective ornithopter. It is known that it probably had some very fancy equipment. Nobody's willing to salvage it because
Right.
it's cute. It's kaiju territory. And finally, letter N. Second. Yes. This is a castle, or a castle, quote unquote, for a now dead Q'ku noble. There's not much more information about that. Essentially, it was one of the first families to be deposed in this area. People have been looting there for a while, so it is essentially known as a resting stop for people who are traveling through these parts. But there are legends of the Duke that used to live here and the exotic treasures that were held within the castle. And give me a roll in systems, please. Ali.
Systems. Yeah. Where did my Alpine Rodeo go? Totally gone. There we are. And systems, which I have a 12 in. Okay. Come on. It's not coming. Let me roll an actual die because it's not coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, very slowly. Let's see. Systems 15, and I have a 12. That is a fail.
Okay. I'm just going to drop a couple circles in the map. Okay. I'm drawing a couple blue circles. These are places where you have heard about this maglev network, but you don't have any more information in this area. No, sorry, it's not there. It's
A maglev network. Let's It's defunct, I assume.
And yes, that's that.
All right. Hey. Cool. I will report back to Salim about that. Kaiju City, old castle, the hunting grounds with the potential treasure, and our defunct maglev network.
What do you think, Viper Harmony, about the maglev network and trying to use the tunnels? That speaks to a certain amount of hesitation.
It seems like a good place to set up ambushes. I think if we had time to properly scout it out, we could use it to our advantage. I don't think it would be a good idea to use it arbitrarily as a transport network for ourselves.
Here's what I'm going to suggest is we're going to finish our work here today, helping out the locals, getting them set up as best we can. I want us to maneuver into G as a team, primarily so we can get eyes on Station R.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's not necessarily that we're going to go into Station R tomorrow, but I want us to be able to go in there and recon. And when we do that, you're going to be point on that. You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's give everybody the word. I'll leave you to disappoint Salta on our choices. And
that's my job.
Yeah, and we'll get everything put together.
One final thing that I think you all gather is that the western you go in this map, the more likely it is to be or have been under the collective's control.
Mm-hmm.
And the eastern you go in this map, the more likely it is to be under Kaiju control.
Huh. That is a hard choice between who we want to muck with. So I can't wait to make that decision on the fly.
What
The enemy of my enemy is still going to eat me, I think.
What I also would say is that there are Beryllian ruins, there are some abandoned Q'ku outposts, stuff like that. That kind of stuff is less likely to be controlled by the collective on the eastern side. It is more likely that you would be attacked by Kaiju, but you will be more able to take control of whatever you were to find.
Sounds good.
And just to remind you, one of the people from the collective that fought a month ago is still here.
Right.
Jack Lassiter.
Yeah. Anyone have thoughts on how you want to deal with our expat? I don't know what I want to call him right now.
Expat is fine. You can call him that. I mean,
and I sort of look at
someone
because I'm like, we are too, if that makes any sense. She's like,
do you two want to sit down with him and get his story?
Yeah, absolutely.
You do that together. Play good cop, bad engineer. I don't know. Whatever tactic you want to play.
I need a big wrench for that.
Not even joking around, but good engineer, bad cop actually sounds like an efficacious combo.
Yep.
And I will follow, I'll leave you two to do that, and I'll go and follow Sgt Dangerous's lead. Like wherever he says we need to do work and stuff, I'll go and pitch in.
Nice.
Since he's made the assessment on that, then I'll back him up on that, and we'll try and get done what we can get done today.
Nice. Let me solve that before we go down to the conversation with Jack. Give me just one, please. Because yes, give me 1 second. Okay, I have this. And yes, okay, yeah. As I was telling you, you are able to start setting up this production facility. In a day or two, you should be able to get some stuff going. I think the youngest of the Q'ku are very interested in both of you. You are probably in uniform for starters. Every Q'ku soldier that's down here is probably in either civilian clothes or are very casual about dress code, and they are unlikely to have seen a fencing suit in good condition other than a collective. So they essentially, I think they will run first to Ezekiel, since Ezekiel is younger, maybe more friendly seeming. So Ezekiel, you get this group of 16, 17, 18 year olds, maybe 4 or 5 of them, start asking you questions about how is it in space, how is it piloting, and they're essentially fangirling with you. That's the only word I can think. What do you want to do?
Oh, you're muted.
Say, work your fan club, my friend. Hearts and minds here.
I guess I try to be. I try to rally their energy. I think to help out. Maybe encourage them. I think. I think what happens is that I'm fine. As a player, I'm fine with this. As Ezekiel, I think he's a little bit like embarrassed.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. And doesn't know how to handle that. So I think what he does is that he just sort of like concentrates on the task at hand, but also like motions them over to come over and show them how they can do some of these things themselves.
Okay. I think, yeah, you they try to mimic you for starters. Some of them, I think, I'm getting the reference from the pic that you put for your character. You see some of them return with their hats backwards. They got some hats from whatever they could, and they say, Mr. Cho, is this? Are we doing it? Are we doing it fine?
It's just Zeke. He'll be fine.
Uh, and I think the youngest of them is like, uh, Zeke, is this fine then? And they are basically carrying
Yeah.
crates around.
So here's what happens. Like I know like realistically speaking, I can't expect them to qualities that some of us would have. So I think what I try to do is I try to spot who's naturally like who takes this naturally, and whoever isn't, like we give them simple tasks. We give them stuff like sorting or screwing on simple parts, while the real, nitty gritty, assemble it so that it actually works kind of stuff. Basically the difference between the person who handles the screws and the person who actually assembles the computer. Like we like sort of like try to separate the tasks. Well, not separate, like divide the
Mhm.
tasks. Yeah.
Why don't you roll presence for me, please?
All right. It's a presence time to die. It's a presence day to day. Here we go. Wait. Oh wait, that's not right. Hey. Oops, wrong button. There we go. That is a 12 on a 16, I believe.
You are able to do all of this, but I wanted this roll to go back to Salim. Salim, uh,
Mhm.
when we were drawing up characters, you and Ezekiel drew the enemies card. So I want to ask you. I think it's very clear that embarrassed as Ezekiel is, Zeke is showing up these, let's say, command qualities. Uh, how often have you seen Zeke do this kind of stuff? How is this making you feel? Uh, is this changing your opinion on him in any way?
No, it pisses me off that he is so good with people, with normal people. Like like that bugs me because so often when we're in combat, he's being a smartass and being a little irritating to me, and yet he's able to turn around, and when it comes to it on the ground, he's able to get these people, following behind him. And I think I would never say it out loud, but I think that that is really kind of burning a little at the back of his mind.
Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. I don't know if
Because
you.
because in part because he is from a noble family, but he's, a bastard kicked out son of a noble person, and so he's got still some of that shit weighing in his head. So I've got some of that bugs is driving me as well.
Okay, 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 okay.
If I
Yeah.
understand you,
Go ahead, Matthew, please.
uh, if I understand you correctly, it's really a situation of when a person is so irritating about not being what you would want them to be or expect them to be when you need them to be at any given time.
Yeah, if you can turn it off with these people, why can't you turn it off? There's some of that. There's some of that. Like that's probably what I'm telling myself. Like that's the rationalization I'm giving, but it's actually that he is able to get along with these people so quickly and so easily.
Okay, okay, okay. And let me ask you then, if it's burning for you, you think it's really that hard for you to do that?
I think I have a hard time with I have a hard time with normal people, and also I think that like I know that I should be recruiting some of these people in. I know I should be doing that, but I'm also the guy who got his people killed already. And I think that I don't think I'm going to boost my retainer die. Like, I
Ah,
think I actually do kind of walk away. That may change in the future, but for right now, I think I just can't bring myself to do it.
okay, okay, okay. Do you want to add anything else, Ezekiel?
Uh, no, I think he's got his. I think he's got his back turned at this point. Sort of like I mean, he obviously appreciates the help, the the contributions that the commander brings in a practical sense, right? But at the same time, Ezekiel is so like focused on the task and the people around him that it's really hard to, without any disrespect, really hard to like, you know, even notice like to give him too much attention.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I love that. I 100% love that. So, going to move with Alta and Ali. Okay, yeah, so in one of the simpler tents, even that are over here in the camp, you hear that there is Jack. Jack Lassiter is a former, probably at this point, collective pilot. He fought here barely a month. And then, when a day or two after the fight, their allies left here and he just stayed. Since then, he's been helping a bit here and there. Uh, he has been mainly interested in trying to help get food to people. Has been his main thing. When you see him, he's maybe 32, 33. Uh, and you
So
get.
he's old.
Sorry?
Okay. So he's old.
Yes. Yes. And you get the impression that he's trying to be, let's say, unimpressive, you know? These people who are always trying to talk themselves down, who are always trying to appear a bit less so than they are. Uh, from a mile away, you can see that this is a person who will be able to command the new room the he wanted, but he won't. What do you want?
What is he doing when we find him?
He's practicing some martial arts positions with one of the kids, maybe
Mhm.
at 12, 13 years old.
Yeah, I think I just watch him until he finishes up and wait for him to sort of notice that we're there.
I'm going to be just like Papali because she's my older sister, but also I'm secretly trying out the martial arts moves just behind her too because they're very familiar. So.
Nice. Yeah. I love that. I think it takes Jack about 5 minutes to maybe 2 or 3 minutes to notice you, and probably a couple more to finish the lesson. And
Hmm.
he just sends the kid away and raises their hand and says, "Hey, hello over there."
Yeah, we
Friendly,
go up to him.
immediately friendly.
Jack, right?
Uh,
You
I know
new
what
in
he will
town?
say in Spanish, but I don't know what he will say in English. He says, "For sure I am."
Mm-hmm. Pipali, this is my little sister Salta.
What he will say in English is, "For a long time now." You ask, "Are you Jack?" And he answers, "For a long time now." Yes.
Great. I hear you're new in town, so are we.
Yes. Rumor does spread around fast, doesn't it? And basically invites you over. He has a really small desk.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, I don't know what's the word in English, but this place where he sleeps, and
Bunk.
a bunk. Thank you. And just some very minor personals. And you see that at the back of the tent there's this gigantic shield from his tactical
Huh.
armor.
So Why did you leave the collective?
He says, "Have you heard of the fight that a month ago or so?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I had the wrong idea about this, my people, and I just couldn't go back. There's some people I miss, I think, but I don't like to talk about that. It's
Yeah, I know what
just
that's
been a
like.
couple of weeks, but it feels like a lifetime away.
Oh, I know. Yeah, sometimes the collective can go a little bit too far.
Yes. How would you know?
Because we also left a while ago.
Turns to Salta and says, please don't touch that. And it's
She's so close to the shield, and she's like, I don't need to. I know the model. I was just admiring what good shape you've kept it in.
Thank you. It's just a bit of engineering classes here and there, but nothing fancy. It's just uh, uh, punches on the shield. He says it's just good equipment. So where were you deployed to? Asks you, Pipali.
It was an assassination mission. Again, I don't like to talk about it either.
Just goes, yeah, I know about that, and says, were you here at 317? Were you here at 317 recently, or?
Yeah, we just dropped in.
Okay. And he tells you that he's been here maybe 6 months. Doesn't know much about, or didn't know much about the Q'ku. Yes, but I'm getting to know them.
Were you stationed at one of the stations nearby?
Yep, I was at Station Q when it happened.
Can you
What
tell me a little bit
happened?
about it? Yeah.
He describes to you the scene that I described to you. It was probably 10 a.m. when this massive ship in green and blue essentially started bombarding with some form of, I want to say, energy bombs,
Mm-hmm.
weapons. Everyone was quick to deploy to their units. They were able to test that a lot. A lot of transports were lost, and he escaped to a stationary. Yes, I rolled for a while with one of the surviving groups, just a couple of weeks, but you know how battle is. You bond with people.
No idea where the ship was from?
It's not yet, but I have some suspicions.
Care to share?
Why don't you roll presence for?
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Presence is 12. A 7. Great.
Great. Yeah. I forgot to introduce a small rule at the beginning. We will go back to that on feedback at the end of this. But yeah, a 7 is great. Says, yeah, uh, it wasn't in the reports when I was deployed here, but there's some weird stuff going on in the underground of the planet.
I
Uh,
know.
says, oh yeah, what do you know about that?
We also had a run-in with a weirdo with energy weapons. A little bit smaller than,
Small.
yeah, a little bit smaller, but
Sits down in the bank, invites you both to sit down, goes like this and says,
Mhm.
You know, we fought a ship, a weird ship. It was sort of underground. It was like it had been put there. It was like the mountain had grown around the ship. It was weird, and we fought some people who had some weird technology, some weird energy technology, and I'm sure that give me one. I'm sure that Kirakos captain has some information on that kind of stuff, but the Q'ku are private people for the most part,
Hmm.
and they just won't tell me what we are up against.
Did you see any other smaller units, like from the ship?
He says yes. He tells you that he actually fought out three. He and his group fought three flying units. Uh, he mentions that these units were able to maintain flight without any sort of propulsion,
Hmm.
and that they were attacking with energy weapons. Because I mean they were smaller than our units, but not small.
Mhm. Did they have like legs, arms?
He describes to you. He says, and nobody will believe me, and describes to you this action where the limbs
Hmm.
of the units will.
Yes,
That's exactly what
yes,
we thought.
yes. And when we smashed it a bit, it sort of gave up all the rest of the body and sort of let's say went up into the head and flew off in that.
Confirms everything except the part of the head. Says that
Okay.
the units they fought just will collapse on.
Hmm.
So we ran into a single one. Hmm. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, there
So
was more than one. It would have been a bad time.
what he tells you is that he gets the feeling that the units that he fought were or his group fought were trying to protect the ship that they were in, and that they were not in any good condition.
Hmm.
He says if they had been in good condition, they will be dead now.
Hmm. Probably the same situation for us.
Yeah.
Uh, Seemed isolated almost. Uh, did they do any sort of atmospheric tricks? Like they kept, um, did they change the air or the atmosphere around them at all?
Not that he can remember.
Mm, okay. Ours was hiding in a place with a really weird, very organic
Hmm.
set of mm, particulates around them. Yes, it was a fog. I didn't
Okay,
know if they were like there to rest.
okay. He can't remember any sort of that stuff. At this point, he's more interested in what you are telling him that he's
Hmm.
suffering information. He's confirming most of what you say. He can't remember any form of organic materials or interference that these units were using. Uh, were using And I do want to note that if you speak to him about these beryllian signatures,
Hmm.
he will have no idea what you're talking about. The collective doesn't have sophisticated enough technology or attuned enough technology to really detect very. They
Okay.
know of the. He will share that with you. They know that there's some weird energy going on, but they are not sure how to deal with it yet, as far as he knows. But he's. Give me one second. But Jack's just a lieutenant. He doesn't have a high, a, a high enough rank to any commanding, or was just.
I'll point to the shield and be like, "So where's the rest of it?"
It was destroyed, a Hydra, and
Mm,
you wouldn't know what a Hydra is, either of you, but a Hydra
Mhm.
is he communicates with you that it's, and I love the way that it was described when we established it. It's a Hydra and HIDR4. You will be familiar with the Hydri, the HIDR1 essentially.
Hydri.
The Hydri, yeah. It says it was a damn Hydra. Didn't even know they had been deployed over here yet.
Hmm.
And he says, roll a d6 for me, please. Either one of you.
Go ahead.
Okay. Here we go. I rolled a 5.
You roll a 5. You don't know about this person yet, but he still mentions it and says, it was that son of a bitch. What's his name? I forgot it. I totally forgot it. I totally blanked on it. I had it a second ago. Anders. It was that son of a bitch, Anders. Yes. Anders is or was, according to him, who was in command of Station Q. He says that corrupt son of a bitch. He's the one who brought all of those units. He goes near to you, Kali, and he's trying to make sure that Salta doesn't hear about this. Roll presence.
20.
Ooh.
He won't give enough information for you to he won't give you enough information for you to, I think, act on it.
Mhm.
But you gather that he's afraid to really come to terms with what he's telling you. He says, I think Anders protect some kind of weird weird kaiju. That's the word I'm looking. Weaponizing project. Weird
Mm.
kaiju. We never got close to what he was doing, but uh, uh and he just goes back. But Hydras will surely be the way to protect whatever secrets he.
Anders is at Station R now.
He tells you. I don't know how he will tell you this, but he tells you that he's detained, or his group
Mm.
made sure to detain him.
Hmm.
But he hasn't heard that from his group since they left, so he's not sure what could be going on.
What would it take for you to join up with the coalition again?
With the collective,
Or the collective, yeah.
tells you there's no knowing what he knows, and knowing he knows nothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
He's afraid.
What do you think would happen if you did go back?
he says hopefully. At R, the collective is no more. And those are for free, brother.
All right.
I will give you a bit more information for us as an audience, not for you, the players, for all of us. Jack, as you might have gathered, is one of the PCs from the previous campaign. Jack essentially fought. There was this revolt under the collective under Sgt Anders. Anders, again for us as the audience, Anders was secretly in charge of some kind of weaponizing project. We didn't got to any more details, but he wanted to use those weapons to attack the Q'ku and finally get rid of you. Jack and his group essentially realized this, tried to detain Anders. They were successful, but Anders sent these hydras to attack this encampment that you are in. They barely, and I mean barely, got here before they were able to attack, to create this provocation, and they barely survived. Not Jack, but one of the other characters was just 1 HP point from dying, and we just rolled really good at the very last moment, and they were able to stop the hydras. And essentially for his epilogue, Jack decided to stay behind for a while and later try to retire to a farm. So Jack is the now, and he has some allies at Station R. As I was telling you, they were able to detain Anders. So he hopes that the people that were left in charge at the Station R, from his group and the allies that they made at the Station R, are still in charge. But he has zero evidence.
Cool.
And I think Zelda steps and goes, how do we know? How could we tell? Who would we... Do we send a signal?
That's a very good question, and he will have an answer for you. Yes. Q. I forgot to modify these hex. Forgot to modify this damn hex. This shouldn't be a hole. This should be something more farm-like. It's supposed to be a crater. Point Q. He tells you that they set up an antenna right to try to pinpoint where the arc was, to find a signature that appeared just before the bombardment of Station Q. That's what they were trying. In order to do that, they installed an antenna array. There's one antenna at Q, and there's one antenna at point O, at the Kaiju City, and at Nose, which is a farm in a crater. From either one of those, you should be able to boost a signal and essentially communicate with Station R if at all possible. From Q or O.
Q or O?
Q, I would think.
He doesn't recommend you to go to Station O.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Excellent. We can try that.
If you have any more questions, you can make them. Otherwise, we will take our break.
Let's take that break.
So I have... Let's do 2:35 past the hour.
Oh.
You in a bit.
All right.
Okay, so I wouldn't say it's night by the time you are done with it. Selim wanted to finish the day helping where you could. So unless you want to do anything different tonight, we will jump ahead to the next.
Okay.
Selim, please roll 1d6.
Okay. Three.
3. That's not ideal. But it's everything about hard choices. So that's cool. So I think that's very cool. Okay.
That took a trip because that started from oh no to you're fine, lol.
I think you are fine. Drama wise. I think it's a really hard choice what I'm going to
Oh,
put in
my
front of
goodness.
you. Okay. So, yes. You all get up. There's a very improvised roll call for the people who are here. There's a head count. Most of the people who are here are not soldiers. Those who are soldiers are mostly with you. Those who belong in the army are mostly with you. People seem a bit confused as you maybe walk around camp or go to breakfast. But as all of that happens, Salim, you are asked by Captain Iriakos to go to their tent.
To what? I'm sorry. What did he ask me to do?
To go to their tent. Go to
Okay.
Captain Iriakos' tent.
I will prepare myself and head over there. I'm expecting later to talk with the Vipers about what they found out from Jack. So yeah, I'll head over.
Commander, have you already received your morning report?
Not yet. I got the call that you needed to talk to me, so I came here right away.
I say, yes. I'm afraid to ask this of you because I know you are hard pressed and you probably don't have enough resources to help at this point, but some of the younger people in our camp took upon themselves to, and when I say this, I'm not trying to blame your group at all, but to impress your group, Commander. They seem to have gone into the night over to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over to. Okay, that's not that bad. Over to point F, tells you. And I really don't know what they were hoping to achieve, but if while you are deploying
Say
today,
no more. You don't need to say anymore.
I
We will go and get them. We may be headed further from there, but we will make that on our path.
thank you, Commander. I know the position this puts you in, and I know some people on the court will prefer you to prioritize the mission, your mission, rather than what I'm asking you.
I look at it and I say, I already lost people coming down here. I don't want to lose any more if we can help it. And this is something that we can do.
Extends their hand to you. Let me tell you, I appreciate that not only as an officer, but let's say as a friend, Mr. Andrasi. Thank you so much.
And I'll nod and bow and kind of feeling a little bad because he is older than me, and a commander, and I'll kind of quickly depart, and I will kind of give the high sign for everybody, the signal, like everybody get ready to rally up. Papali Salta, what do we got? What do you know? What'd you find out?
You are muted, Sherry.
Salta starts
Open the
talking.
cockpit.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, oh yeah. Then she's like, she leans out and she goes, okay. So, and she'll run through it all at 2 times speed. Very much that kind of thing. Like she's super excited about it. And she goes through the conversation in the order of which they discovered things. So it isn't like she summarized it. She just recaps it very quickly. So,
Yep. And then I'll go back and do the executive summary.
Okay. All right. I know yesterday I said we were going to G, but based on what you're saying, we can get potentially the signal set up at Q. Okay. Some people from the encampment were inspired by our presence yesterday and have moved to try and impress, and they've headed off towards the west to F. We are going to head to Q by way of F, and we are going to search and retrieve these people and get them back to safety, and then move on to Q.
They went off on foot.
So as far as we can tell, it doesn't look like they have any other kind of transport. So we'll do what we can to get them back to safety.
Let me ask you all these. Are you moving with your group? And when and if you find these people, are you planning to take them with you further, or are you planning to send a part of your group back to?
I initially my thought would be to send them back, but I'm fearing, I'm fearing that we're going to have to load them into our various machines. I'm not looking forward to that. I will say to people, if you have any long-term gear that is taking up space, maybe set that so that we have room to, if we have to contain these younglings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So, somebody please roll 2d6 to see what the weather's like today.
Not it.
All right.
I'll-
Go ahead, please, Matt.
Sure. Oh, what? Connection is closed. Loading scene. There we go. 2d6.
2d6.
We got 4, and we got a 1.
Okay, it's a heavy rain day once again.
Acid rain? Are we?
No, just heavy rain, It's a heavy rain day. The good part for you is that I will not ask you to roll your reactors to see if you overheat on the way there. The bad part is that it's really raining. So you are pressed down for time for people, because I mean there's no river over there, but it's a jungle. So okay, so that will be that, reaching the center or of XF will take you in this weather around 6 hours. It's really unlikely these people have made it far, but let me roll for something. Aquí está. Okay. But you know they are young. And so yeah, you essentially move ahead as fast as you are able to, assuming the rest of your team or the most going with you.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, XF. Okay, go ahead. And for this. Okay, yeah. Beyond the rain, you don't find a lot on your way towards F. But I honestly wasn't expecting us to go into this hex, so let me just
Sure.
check on something. Okay, yeah. Viper Harmony, are you still taking lead
I
for
am.
day? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Roll systems for me, please.
That's a 17 under 12. Nope.
That's a 17. Okay. You know, it's raining. You move ahead west as fast as you are able to. For the most part, you are not getting any life signals or any life signals that will match human life. You calculate how far these people could have made it. You are pretty sure you are way beyond that distance by at least, I don't know, 4 or 5 kilometers. So you probably decide to track back. And what I think this will cost you is mostly time. Because you are not able to pick up these people on sensor. But together with the rest of your team, what I think happens is that you narrow it down to a few places where people will be able to take refuge under these conditions. For the most part, is a cave. It's a cave too small, at least at this entrance, for you to go in with your fencing suits. Some of the smaller working suits will be able to pass through, but not your combat. Essentially, yes, you gather that probably these people will have needed to take refuge in this place. But by that time, I think it's probably past 12. 6 hours and more time. No, I think it's probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon by the time you pinpoint it. Yeah. But what it takes from you is time. What do you want to do?
What do you think, Commander?
I don't know yet. And I do think I'm kind of freezing here. Like I'm really a little like, oh,
Do you think these kids know the area?
I think they do.
Seek, please roll presence for me, please.
Who?
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. Matthew.
Oh, sure, no problem. Presents. And roll it. That is a 15 under a 16.
Nice. Let me. One of the kids that's missing is one of the kids that was with you, Jess.
Mm-hmm.
You gather from speaking with this kid that that sucks. That at least that kid does not know the terrain. At least that kid.
Mm.
You are not sure about it.
Wait, are they with us, or like they got lost because of the terrain?
They probably got lost looking for somewhere to cover from the water.
Let's continue the search around here. If we have to dig in deeper, if it means we lose this day, I'm okay with that. But we've got to find these kids.
Okay.
We told these people, if we're going to get everybody back, we've got to start here.
Do you want me to check in the cave?
Yeah.
Okay. And she'll open up her mech and hop out.
Okay. Give me a second. Yes. Okay. You go into the cave. It's at least a few meters too short for you to get into. Fencing suit. It's large enough when you are on foot. What's worrisome for starters is that this is not a cave on the the side of a mountain or something like that, but rather it goes deep somewhat quickly. So if these kids went ahead too deep, they might be trapped by the water. That's the biggest risk that you matter.
Okay.
And there is no immediate evidence.
Exactly, because of course the water's been flowing over all of this. So I've got a big old flashlight. I think we've established the giant flashlight, and I will do the crazy thing of calling out for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's it.
I think it's luck. It's unlikely, so roll a d6, and I think you're trying to roll a 1.
Oh wow! Okay. I mean, I can usually roll ones when I don't want to. So, let's see here. It was a 4.
A 4. Yeah, there's no immediate answer.
Okay, well, we got the comm link, and I'll go, hey, it's pretty watery down here. There's a chance they've gone deeper down. And I'll sort of stop and go, I don't want to be the next kid that gets lost.
No.
And she kind of stops and says, I'm going to come back and get like at least some sort of flotation device or something, okay?
No. Come back, get in the mechs, let's move, let's check the other spots.
Okay.
And let's try to maximize our ability to scan and search together. And I also don't want us to get jumped.
Do we want to spread out?
Yeah. Let's do a little more spread, but not too far. I want us to be able to do a short hop to where ever any of us are, because we're in the west.
Hmm.
We don't know. I mean, it could be bad here.
Let me quickly ask you something, Salta. Of course, you will have been able to replace your comms, but
Mhm.
you last time you used your comms, you hacked it to repel these kaiju bats on the river temple. So will have been able to replace it, no problem.
Oh, the
But if you
comms,
want to
yeah.
add some flavor to that, that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you
Oh,
want to add?
like, do they hear the whole pinging the whole time when I'm talking?
Maybe,
Like on the
maybe
comms,
something like
that there's
that,
still
or
that ping going on, you know? And I can't hear it, but they can. So they're the best kind.
nice,
Oh,
nice, nice, nice.
didn't know it was doing that still.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so you look over here. You don't get any immediate signals. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. Nice. So yeah, you identify. Uh, you identify two more possible spots in the radius that they will have been able to cover. I think this 3 o'clock time will be sufficient for you to do a sweep all of them. Not deeply investigate all of them, but do a sweep of all. So the next one is as well a cave. Um, it's as well a cave. However, second, I'm pretty. I lost my die. Oh, it's over here. Um, yeah, it's more of a. I want to say some boulders in the middle of the jungle, making of this big pile of rocks. Seems safer for sure, or at least you wouldn't be washed off by the water in this cave. What do you want to do?
Ezekiel, it's your turn. Pop out and take the scan on foot.
I'm already wet.
Pop out and do the check around on foot. See if you can see any evidence of them.
Oh, I thought we were still on foot, but yeah, I'll pop out definitely and take with me. What time is it? 3 p.m. You said 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
It may be 1 or 2 at this point, but yeah, by the time you finish doing this, it will be 3 p.m.
Yeah. Just Ezekiel does not have anything for in terms of lip for the commander, and just gets down, brings down a decent weapon, and more importantly, a viewfinder to help his round, binocs, whatever you call them in this universe, and just does a search.
Okay, yeah. You get next to the entrance of this cave. I think this is pretty obvious for all of you since you got this kind of stuff. But this sure seems like a really good spot for a kaiju nest. Uh, give me one.
Good for the kaiju or good for us?
Good for a kaiju. It's a good place
Ah,
for a kaiju to set up nest. Do you want to proceed more carefully? Do you want to go ahead? Ezekiel, what do you want to do?
Um, I guess I'm just one guy. I'm just one guy. Unless the rest of you are following me, I will try to either move around the area or stay low to the ground and hope and cut directly through the path. To see, basically tread carefully, but at the same time trying to like get across the area as quickly as possible, so that I don't have to be in it any longer than I need to be.
Give me a mobility roll, please.
Sure, sure thing. Let's see. Rolling that d20. That is a 5.
Nice! Nice. Okay, yeah, amazing. Yeah, you are moving as fast as you're able to. You are keeping ground. You get near the entrance of the cave, and you do in fact see four Kaiju eggs, not very far from the entrance. Um, you know that Kaiju eggs are not usually left unattended for long.
Oh my
Uh,
god, no. No, 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 no.
but you do not see any grown Kaiju over here. Uh, roll a d6 for me, please.
Do we know what do we know what kaiju smell like?
I think the
Roll a
Kaiju smell will be, I wouldn't say overwhelming, but dominant in here because it's a nest. So yeah, you notice it.
5.
Okay. Um, yeah, you. Fortunately, it's the middle of the day. Kaiju tend to be more active at night. Uh, but from this vantage point and looking for the kids, you do not see them.
I hope that's a good not see them. So, sorry, you were gonna say something, Commander?
Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself. Go ahead, go on.
uh, yeah. Sorry, you said that I don't see anything right now in terms of the kaiju based on that roll. But what do I see other than the eggs behind me now?
Uh, yes, I think you will see some. I think you will see some fauna, potentially carcasses, stuff like that. Some food, not a lot, because probably the kaiju mother, the kaiju parent, wouldn't want to leave the eggs unattended for long. Uh, I think the most significant thing is that it's, I want to say, isolated. It's the you get near it. It's warm. It's dry, uh, because the kaiju has taken its time protecting the egg. So this will be a really good place to hide from the elements,
Mm.
except for the fact that there's kaiju. But this will be an amazing
So I
place.
have I won't say, I won't call them observations, but I have two things to offer right now, which is one, if it's just one kid that's missing, and we're in. Sorry, you were saying.
It's a group.
A group of
Mhm.
4 or 5.
All
Four,
right. Well, if
four
it's
kids.
that's even better then. Actually, if it's a group of air quotes better, um, if there's a group of kids, then I doubt they'll be able to control they're young, they're inexperienced. That means their tracks should be a lot more obvious, especially in deeper kaiju area. Like it should stand out amongst the nest. Second of all, the other observation I'm getting from the exposition here is that if this is an isolated area, then that means this kaiju is either has selected this as a place to put their eggs for a reason. It is somewhere either they're trying to hide from other threats, or has isolated itself for a reason. And yeah, I guess I'll
Yeah.
try to find a way to move downhill or whatever to
Yeah. I'll say, yes, I'll say that all checks out, Ezekiel. If you're not seeing the kids' tracks there, come back to your mech. There, we've still got one or two other places, other potential spots to check out. Let's move
All right.
on. We're burning daylight.
All right. So Ezekiel like sort of straightens up, looks around, takes one good last long look at the place, and proceeds to head back to his mech, trying to be twice as careful as he did on the way out.
Sure, sure. And the last place that you identify as a potential, but is more of a hollowed out tree. These massive trees that are in the jungle, Aurelia. Uh, a few minutes, even more on the way back to the encampment. This will be the easiest to check for essentially, but given that, I think it's unlikely that the kids themselves wouldn't have seen you. What do you want to do?
I'll pop the canopy on my mech, and I will drop down and essentially, I imagine we have like on our comms. There's the sort of command module thing. So when I pop out, I do the swipe and drop that command module in Viper Harmony's mech for the moment, while I climb down and go and take a look inside to see if we can see anything of these kids, any tracks or anything.
Yeah, you get off. This place is humid. It's filled with moss, of this kind of vegetation. The first thing that happens as soon as you get off your mech, let me. Uh, it's these large centipedes crawling quickly towards you. Uh, there's there's
How
no
how
evidence.
large? When you say large, are we talking like, oh, I can put it in my hand, or are we talking Japanese centipede kind of like
I think I'm
wrap it
talking
around?
sort of small cat size and long centipedes.
Oh, all right. Okay. Oh,
Small
Fuck.
gross.
cat sized and long centipedes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm I'm pulling out my sidearms and pressing forward.
You go in, and essentially there's this smell, sort of like ammonia, in the air. There's a lot of vegetation, decomposition, a lot of insects, small, large, the largest of them, these centipedes. Um, but as soon as you step in, you are slipping down, you are tripping. It's not a comfortable place to be in.
Any evidence like this is a hideout for the kids, or any evidence of tracks or anything like that here?
Why don't you roll systems for me?
Oh, good. Good. Systems is exactly what I wanted to roll because I really wanted a challenge. Oh, but a 6, so I make it.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Uh, as I was telling you, it's an uncomfortable place. There's several things against this. This is a large enough place for somebody to hide, but it would have been a terrible option for someone. You already passed through here, and if the kids were here, they would have seen you. And essentially, kids being kids, at the same time will be probably attracted to this kind of stuff and instantly icked by the stuff that's scrolling in here. So you gotta
Yeah.
that this is the one place that you are 100% certain that they are not.
I will make my way back to my mech, and I'll climb back up, covered in mud, and get in. And I look at the time. We're mid-afternoon. I say, all right, we're moving on to Q. We're gonna camp overnight, put our stuff there, and we're gonna come back and do another sweep search in the morning. Hopefully, the kids have headed back to A. But if we stay out here too much longer, we really risk exposure. We risk Kaiju coming on us and getting them riled up, which is not good if the kids are out here. Viper Harmony, take point.
Got it.
You start moving towards Q. That's 3. Yeah, it's. Let me roll for the watch. Yeah. You don't find much else on your way towards Q. You don't find much else on your way towards Q. And as I was telling you, Q is a farm in a crater. It's a large crater, probably at least 200 meters wide. So a couple of blocks wide, essentially. And you start picking up 2 life signatures. One of them matches a human life signature as you are approaching which isn't unexpected, as I was telling this farm, as you are approaching, let's say, the tree line coming out of the jungle and this crater. And as soon as you get near the edge, on your comms, all of you hear this voice that goes, "Who goes there in the dark?"
Is it dark at this point?
It's 9 p.m. by the time
Okay.
you get here. You are muted, Lol.
God damn it. Viper Harmony, you're on point, so I'll let you make the call on how to deal with this.
And it's on comms.
It's on comms. It's on comms for all of you. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just reply in the most formal way. Just call sign unit. We're on a mission. Who's this?
I think you get some spotlights on the location that you are, and the voice replies to you, "I will do the questions here, Sunny." And mission. What mission is this that you are talking about?
We just need to make a call.
Last people who came here on a mission promised me that son of a bitch Anders was going to buy all of my shipments from me, and I haven't got any payment. So if you are with those, and starts cursing as hard as he can, and finishes up, "Collective soldiers, you can go to hell as far as I care."
Oh no, we are not collective. And as far as we know, Anders is behind bars.
You hear from the dark turret start moving in position towards you, and the voice says, "If you are not with the collective, who are you with then, son?"
We're with the Q'ku, just over the ways a bit.
Roll presence for me.
Uh-oh. Let's see. Presence is
Do any of us recognize these voices by voice?
12.
No, for this person, no, I don't think you will recognize them.
That is a 12 on 12.
Well, you know what? Roll a d6 for me, and that will be a failure, people. Everyone roll a 1d6 for me. You are trying to roll a 1.
All right.
Two.
That's 5.
Yeah, not. You don't know this person. This is an old person from the sound on the comms. This is an old man's voice.
But is he an old Q'ku or is he an old collective person?
He
'Cause
just
they would
mentioned
sound different.
He just
Yeah.
mentioned the collective, and he seems
Yeah.
to be pissed.
And he was
at the
doing
collective.
business with them,
Yes,
right?
he was doing business with the collective. And one other thing that I will tell you is that on comms, as he's talking and he's cursing, you hear this big growl like a big dog on comms as well.
Since Anders is behind bars, it sounds like you've got some product to sell available.
That's
Since he can't pay you.
That's a great diversion. You know what? That's a great diversion because having felt presence, this person was about to shoot at you. At least a warning shot. You say that. He says, this game doesn't really have a system for money, but what I want to say, he gives you a price. It's 100% above what the market price of supplies will be. But if you offer to buy, I think he will be willing to listen. What do you want to do?
Cap, we got a discretionary fund.
You are muted again.
You're
Lowell.
muted.
Yeah, we can pull some stuff out here if we need to.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely reasonable. Price wise.
Why don't you
Very
roll
generous.
your returner die, please, Pipali?
Retainer die?
D6, right?
That's a 1.
That's a 1. It goes down to D4.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, you see more spotlights turn on. You see this big crater with some tarps over it. Just below the tarps, you see all this greenery. There's a lot of produce. And you see really a small station. Probably enough for 2 people to live comfortably, but not bigger than that. Next to it, in the distance, you see a working suit. So probably reaches one of your units to the waist or a little bit above. But both the station, the unit, and somehow the crater are dwarfed by this massive gun turret on top of this house. Probably somehow taken off. It's a ballistics weapon. Probably somehow taken off an attack cruiser or something like that. From the hatch on top of it, you see this old thin man come out, and he's carrying this enormous rifle, points at you, and he says, "Seems like we have ourselves a deal." And
Seems like it.
puts the rifle on his shoulder.
Nice.
You go in, and he says, "Who was I talking with just now?"
That was me, sir.
Says, "Oh." The demeanor instantly changes. "Oh, miss," takes off his hat. Says, I'm really sorry about the manners, but you cannot be too careful these days.
It's dangerous out here.
It is danger. It is dangerous, and
We
you
got
say
coalition, we
that
got kaiju, we
pulls
got all
off
sorts of stuff.
a gun, shoots in the air, and you see this kaiju bat go down on the floor. Says, it is dangerous these days.
We got a little trick for those if you want to make a trade. My sister over here figured something out.
Yep, let me show you.
Save
And
you some bullets.
I will set the sonic com thing. I will rejigger it up and set it out, and you'll just see the bats all start like flying into the house and things like that, and falling out of the air. So
That
I
sure is a
can't do
trick.
much.
That
Yep.
sure is a trick, miss.
I mean, if they're a problem for you, you could use one of
Yeah.
these.
I will have
unless you
to
like
to
the
ask
target
for your
practice.
schematics for sure.
Oh,
I'm sure we could make a trade. Yeah.
Nice.
maybe a discount on these vegetables.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
He
They'll work for
starts.
coupons. Yeah.
He questions you on the rest of your group. He seems I wouldn't say friendly, but open enough to let you stay here to negotiate with you. But the rest of your group, I think, probably makes him a bit nervous. There's many of.
Do you want to have them wait at the edge of the crater?
I will certainly prefer that. Yes.
We'll pull back, notably leaving the Viper girls in charge. We'll pull back, and I think we'll kind of those two know what we need to do. I'm gonna let them handle it. I'll set up with Ezekiel and the crews here. We'll get set up for like overnight in as safe a spot as we can, and keeping as close as we can to the eastern edge of the area. So if we pick up any sign of the kids,
Mhm.
we can go after them.
Okay. Nice. Sounds like. Uh, One final thing for you, Pipali. Salta, please roll a mobility for.
Okay.
That is a
I
16.
rolled a 1.
That's a fail for me.
Okay. Yeah. He negotiates with you. You agree to a price for products.
Do I get
Asks you.
is this node?
Yes, this is Node. He introduced himself as Node. Sorry. Um, Asks you how and where are you planning to move the products. You are free to tell him about the camp or lead them
Yeah,
the
I think
way.
we're open with him about the camp and say like, oh yeah, we're resisting the collective, and they could use all the help they can get.
He seems angry with at the collective, but he certainly is not Q'ku. You gather that much. And this mobility is because, and this happens, if you stay longer with this person, you will figure that this happens all of the time. He opens the door to his house probably to offer you some food or like that. And Salta, you jump out of its way, and Pipali, you take directly to hit points of damage as this massive bear jumps up at you and starts licking your face. You feel the pressure of, I don't know, 150 kilos or something like that on top of you, and this is the dog that you were hearing on comms.
Oh, he's so cute.
He is
He
cute.
got Has he got a name?
Says, hey, Char, he calls it. Uh, and pulls it by its really large collar. And you see it go into the house and come out with a large kaiju bone, showing it around to you, essentially trying to get you to play with him.
Throw it, yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
And we are going to go to uh, to Salim and to Ezekiel. Salim, Ezekiel. I think the first thing that happens for the night that you set field camp is that Joyo comes to you, Salim, tells you that she was able to repair some of the lab equipment with Salta's schematics. So you are able to move your die back to a D4, your retainer die to D4.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Pellegrinis comes to you, Ezekiel. Pellegrinis we had established was 16, was this retainer that was accompanying you, Ezekiel. And they are just worried about these kids. They say, cannot believe Commander ordered us over here. And, you know, he just left the kids, man. Just left the kids there. He tells you.
Yeah, I think what Ezekiel says and does is basically trying to come off as a little tough and a little thick-skinned, if only because even though he cares deeply about what's going on, like he maybe unwisely decides that putting on a tough exterior is the way to keep the morale up for this guy. You know what I mean? It's like saying, oh, these kids, like, of course they get into trouble, or you know, which is their own fault for, like, bringing for, like, getting lost in the first place. Now they're our problem. All of that bluster, I think, is the word we could use for all of this bluster. Uh, Even though Ezekiel totally intends to, like, help out and absolutely genuinely cares. As far as this retainer is concerned, he's just like, yeah.
Yes. I don't know, man. I think it seems like he just doesn't care, you know? If he doesn't care about them, points at themselves and says, how do you expect he cares about me? They are essentially the same age as the kids that got lost.
Listen, like, that's different. That's not the same, and almost like he's backpedaling, but not really. Like, Ezekiel is saying, like, look, you're part of, like, you've been like, you're personally under the wing, of the company. That doesn't make you the same as these kids. You might be the same age. You might even find your backgrounds and experiences comparable. But uh, don't mistake their feelings you know about that, to be conflated with, um, how we see you.
I think what happens is that Pellegrinis is young. It's just maybe a year or two older than. I don't Salta. We had established how old were you? Sorry.
I think I'm like 19, 20.
Yes,
like
I
really.
think we had established 19. So yeah,
Mhm.
I think he's probably that they are Pellegrinis are probably the older one. the youngest one amongst your group. You evacuated to Phobos when they were 11, so I think they have just grown up disenchanted from the Q'kus. As you are saying this, as you are saying this, they reply to you. And man, Ezekiel, don't tell me you believe all the things that they say. We're in it for ourselves, to get ahead for ourselves. That's why I'm with you.
I think Ezekiel reassures them, like, look, we can talk all the live long day until the sun rises and sets about the attitudes, and how should I say this? I'm lacking words right now, but about how they treat you and the kids. But as long as you're with me, I'm saying this, as long as you're with us, with me and with us, you're safe.
Why don't you roll your retainer die for me?
Yeah, sure. That's a D6, a D4, right?
Not that's a D6 for you. It was Lowell's character that had restored to a D4 because they were at 0.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay. It says 6.
It works. I think at least for tonight they believe you. Pellegrinis just sort of gets their arm around you. Says, "Okay, man, you know I trust you. You know I trust you. It's you and I." And just goes goes away to work on their frame, their chest. Do you want to add anything else?
Yeah, no, I was actually I wasn't sure if we could let him moment with you, but I think as he puts his arm, I go and says that, I go like, listen, you know, I trust you as well.
Just just nods at you,
Hmm.
and just to close off the session. Uh, just to close off the session. Celine, please roll a d6 for. No, sorry. Yeah, I know what you're rolling. I will prefer not to do this, but it's what makes sense. So roll your retainer die for me, please. Salim.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were. I thought it was Polly. I am so sorry. A
A
4.
4, nice. I didn't wanted your die to go down, so that's a 4. That's perfect. As I was telling you,
If you really didn't
Joyo.
want it to go down, you wouldn't make me roll.
No, because what's happening
That's
is
good.
Joyu tells you that she was able to repair this, so that's what it for back, and she tells you that Commander, just one more thing before she goes. And as I was telling you, just to close off the session, he says, "I think I might have a working prototype of the thing that you saw uh, back in the river at a molecular level, just not at the level that you saw. But I think I have some insight how and takes this small sample of the brilliant crystals that Salta picked up. How this and this, a vial of Kaiju blood, uh, were able to interact with what I'm deeming the human element.
Dun dun dun.
Terrible and wonderful at the same time.
And we are going to end our session there for tonight.
Nice.
And we are going to
Mhm.
move into Stars and Wishes, but I'm going to finish recording there. So if you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Tonight we played the Mecha Hack as part of the Open Heart Gaming calendar. Thank you so much for watching and see you next week.
Bye.
Yeah.